Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Manley. I'm a PhD student in the Department of Earth Systems Science at UCI. Life as we know it is largely possible due to processes most of us have never thought about or even noticed. Breathable air, clean fresh water, or even our recreational opportunities are provided to us free of charge from a group of organisms and environments we call ecosystems. We now rely so heavily on these services that they're largely built into our social systems and they really heavily influence our well-being. But humans have for millennia now been applying significant pressures to these systems, and consequently, we have been impacting the services that ecosystems provide in ways that we still don't really fully understand. This is especially alarming as we continue to pollute our atmosphere with billions of tons of greenhouse gases every single year and rapidly change the global climate. In this video, I'll talk to you about how changing climate interacts ecosystem services and give you a sense of some of the work our lab is doing to better understand those interactions in order to inform decisions in the future that can mitigate human impacts to human well-being. First, we have to understand what ecosystem services are. Simply put, ecosystem services are the benefits humans receive from nature. One landscape may provide many valuable services. For example, the coastal ecosystem shown here provides local communities and visitors with many services like wave attenuation from the estuary that protects the nearby cities from flooding and erosion, or carbon storage in the forest that helps regulate the global and local climates, and recreational opportunities in the beaches and coastal ocean that provide people with activities that can contribute to both economies and to improving individuals' physical and mental well-being. But recent evidence shows that climate change is impacting ecosystem services across the world, and these impacts are predicted to just get worse in the future. Climate change affects the species within ecosystems, as well as ecosystem structure and functioning. This in turn causes the services they provide to change. In order to mitigate and adapt to these impacts, we first need to comprehensively understand them. This is the work that I'm focusing on during my graduate research. For example, one project we're working on right now is looking at how people are recreating in California ecosystems and then modeling how that recreation will change in the future. We take advantage of data from Flickr, which is an image sharing social media site, almost like Instagram, which helps us see precisely where and when people are using recreational services in the state. This figure is a great example of our data from Flickr, and it kind of demonstrates how precise Flickr data is at estimating recreational patterns. So we see high recreation in places we would expect to see it, like Yosemite or Death Valley or Tahoe. And this kind of just shows how accurate and precise we can be with this data. This allows us to connect people's decisions to recreate in nature to the climate conditions that are occurring at that time and place. In other words, we can create these relationships between outdoor recreation and the local climate conditions that are occurring at the time. So basically what people prefer in terms of climate when recreating outdoors. For example, you probably wouldn't want to go hiking in the middle of Death Valley in the summer, but instead maybe you'd go to Yosemite for mild temperatures and maybe some higher wind speeds that can cool you off during your activities. We use machine learning to model these relationships between climate and nature recreation, and then project it into the future to see how recreational services will be provided by California landscapes in the future as the climate conditions change. This information can help decision makers incorporate climate change impacts into land management plans, and can also help them take into account both the human and natural aspects to more holistically understand and manage climate change impacts in the future. As climate continues to change, understanding how the connection between nature and humans will also be affected is key to minimizing human suffering and other negative impacts of climate change. And ultimately, this can help us tackle what is likely the greatest challenge in modern times. If you'd like to hear more about our ecosystem service work or any other work we're doing, check out our UCI Sustainable Systems Analysis Lab website or follow my Twitter at kmanleysci.